Alright guys, here we go. This is the Russian military base in Novorossiysk port. You may see lots of the air defense systems, all of them S-400 launchers, and this is the radar of S-400 system, one more radar over here. This image was taken on 11th November 2025, so 4 days ago. And now the new image was published from exact same place after the successful Ukrainian attack. Let's watch it. Here we go. Very fresh, dated from today. You see, where are the S-400 systems? Where is this radar? Guys, they're just vanished. I mean, literally vanished. There are some of the remains of the trucks, from what I may see, and some of the remains of the radar, maybe. Gonna also move my image. You may see the traces so far, even on this side of the Russian military base, and just 2 launchers left. So, sorry, not the systems were hit, yeah, the system itself, like in general, but the launchers, 4 of them at least here, they're just vanished together with radar. Oh my god, just look at this. And once again, this was before, yeah, you may see lots of the structures, 4 launchers here, and that is what we have right now. Oh my god. And Novorossiysk is roughly 400 kilometers away from Ukrainian controlled territory. Here we go, zoom into the place just for you to refresh, yeah, the location of this Russian military base. Well, here is the older picture, taken also in 2025. The position of the launchers, it's different here. At the fresh satellite image, all of those launchers are located in a row, but position of the radar is the same. And once again, yeah, this is the pure satisfaction what happened. I couldn't imagine that kaboom was so significant and caused so much damage to this base, but it really happened. Ukraine is damn successful. And you know, after all, what we discovered with some of the Ukrainian OSINT analytics, that Ukraine didn't use Neptune all the way for this attack. After all, there were some of the drones, I mean FP1 drones. This is the drone. It's very simple in construction, but capable to fly for a very long distance. They are produced by the Firepoint company, and according to the information which I obtained, those were the cameras installed on those drones, and I am waiting for the FPV video to be released. First person view, yeah, this drone view, how they hit Russian air defense system. I just hope that everything was recorded, because according to the information coming, those drones were controlled live by Ukrainian drone operators. So this Russian air defense was attacked by FP1 drones, and the rest of the port infrastructure, oil infrastructure, was targeted and hit by Neptune missiles. Yeah, this base is a little bit on higher elevation, some sort of the hill here. I wonder if we can, yeah, actually we can put someone. Oh, this is the Russian base itself. Can we enter it? No. Yeah, this image is kind of old, 2012. Of course, it's not legit any longer. Here's one more satellite image from the place. Instead of the systems, there is now a big hole. So 1, 2, 3, 4 systems. Here you see that's the color image, and the fire was also here. This radar was also damaged significantly, maybe even destroyed, and also fire was here, as I've told you. Well, from what I see, 3 of the launchers here, they are pretty much okay. As far as we can tell, there was also one more radar here. Maybe also sustained some of the damages because it was very close to this hotspot. And we have also a satellite image coming from the port itself. It was the job done by Neptune missiles. And you may see that the port infrastructure, well, it's completely gone, destroyed. Not the oil tanks themselves, but all of the pipes, all of the sensitive equipment, pumps, they're gone. Analytics who are familiar with this infrastructure from Ukrainian side, they say that the maintenance job to restore everything of that may take half a year at least, maybe even more. But even if Russia rebuilds everything of that, Ukraine has more Neptunes. So it's the never-ending story for Russia while they continue this war, while they continue to strike Ukrainian facilities, Ukrainian infrastructure. Ukraine has the right and tools to respond very painfully for Russia, because it's the Russia's main export port in the Black Sea. It's crazy. It took Ukraine just several hours to burn this part of the very critical infrastructure together with air defense, and I would say 400 kilometers, it's the longest range strike of Ukraine against Russian air defense, successful strike. So yeah, we have more info from the Ukrainian Cyber Borsna channel. A large part of the hits was made by FP1 drones with cameras. So we are really looking forward to beautiful videos from Novorossiysk port. Well, I hope it's gonna be released as soon as possible. And yeah, Ukrainian military command confirms the destruction of the 4 enemy launchers S-400 Triumph and couple of the Raiders 96H6 Cheeseboard and 92H6 Gravestone. That's the name of the Raiders classification. The Ukrainian command tells that totally 12 of the launchers were at this military base, and there is the high probability that the rest also were damaged or partially damaged. Yeah, of course, kaboom was definitely a huge one. One kaboom, and there was the second one later on. This one. That's crazy. So for sure, several of the systems were flatlined. It's the great success of Ukraine. One of the best operations conducted on this very long range. 400 kilometers, that's quite a lot. Well, S-400 is the fat target. It's the best Russian active air defense system, Triumph. There is also S-500, but it's the export variant and not many were built. About S-500, Russia planned to deploy those near Moscow, so the first units are planned to be deployed around the Moscow Oblast and the country's central area in 2025, but I wonder if it happened or not. Because according to Wikipedia, just one was built. The cost of one S-500 system is around 700 up to 800 million in 2020 and up to $2.5 billion in 2023, so we may speak about maybe $3 billion in 2025. Russian Ministry of Defense, they need money. That's why S-300 and S-400, those are the working horse of Russian army. Well, S-400 is still like the family of S-300. There are numerous of the modifications, and finally we have S-400, one of the most advanced ones. And here's the separate page, 2022-Ukraine, that's the war of Russia against Ukraine, and all of the occasions then Ukraine hit those systems. They should add more. August 29, 2025, they should put November 12th, also Novorossiysk port, -4 at least. Yeah, of course, Ukraine also has the losses in its air defense systems, and at least 2 or maybe even 3 of the launchers of Patriot systems were lost for Ukraine in 2023. As far as I remember, yeah, it was 2023. But Russia lost way more of those systems, and Ukraine has the support from Western allies, so Russia has to build everything themselves, wasting or using budget money. And by the way, Russian budget doesn't feel that great recently. Russia increased the loans from banks to support Russian economy. It cannot continue forever. And something tells me that it's just a beginning. Ukraine aims to hit more of the Russian oil infrastructure, not just oil, but very sensitive components of the Russian economy, industry, military. Well, at least before, like 1 month ago, those strikes which are happening right now were already announced by Ukrainian officials. And I'm quite surprised that they're so successful. Each time Ukraine finds out the very weak spot in Russian defense, like it was done with the spiderweb operation, now it's something similar, but using the long-range tools. And the Russian counterintelligence, their FSB, they're not working great from what we see. They are always surprised. With Moscow ship, they were surprised. Even with a drone hitting Kremlin in 2023, as far as I remember. Also, they were surprised with the Ukrainian attack operation towards Kursk Oblast. So Russia is not that competent. They cannot foresee coming events, which also means that probably in Ukraine there is some sort of the independent lack of Ukrainian intelligence. And for Russia, it's hard to get the information from that one, and it is responsible for all of those kind of the operations, like for example spiderweb. Or there's just a small circle involved into this planning, and the rest of the people, they don't know what to expect, and finally they obtain the order and execute what is needed. And all of those operations, they're pretty much successful for Ukraine because I would say mainly Ukraine is in lack of the resources, so it has to improvise. Unlike Russia, Russia just strikes straightforward with their cruise missiles, ballistic missiles, hypersonic missiles. They don't have this planning, thinking, and then they hit Ukrainian civilian infrastructure. They just cause more anger among Ukrainians and more resistance. Russians should learn the history that, for example, German strikes on the United Kingdom, they were basically useless, even though lots of the buildings were destroyed, mostly in London, but people just hated Nazis, and as well as Ukrainians now hate those Russists who bombed their homes. It's quite logical. With these terror tactics, Russians will not achieve what they want, but Ukraine, it aims not towards the Russian civilian infrastructure, but towards Russian economy and military, as it happened in Novorossiysk. Economy, oil port, the biggest one, and military, -4 of the S-400 and couple of the Raiders. Absolutely great, awesome job. Well, guys, those were absolutely fantastic news. I'm gonna keep you updated. Also, I'm gonna speak about the situation on the front lines in next video. So let's keep in touch. Like this video and subscribe for the channel, don't forget. And also, if you want to make my content possible, because I rely on your support, you may do it via Patreon or membership of the channel. The link for my Patreon is in the video description just below. And for membership, just press join somewhere here, this button. If not, if you don't have this opportunity or you don't want to support me in that way, you may just, as I said to you, like this video, subscribe for the channel. That helps me a lot. My friends, I wish you all a peaceful sky wherever you are and have a great time.